Yo, what's up, survivors? This video is going to be more geared towards the beginner folks. You know, maybe you're a day old, maybe you're a month old. There's going to be some helpful tips into this. I do have a list that was written down. I asked a few folks that play in the Alliance with myself and other places and said, hey, man, if you could name one thing that you wish you'd have known on day one that you know now that's helped you tremendously, what would that be? So I do have a list. Yes, I am recording this on my phone, and I hate editing videos. So I'm going to be flipping back and forth so you guys can see this list. So 1 second, yo, here we go. All right, let me get that out of the way. So this guy said, one thing I definitely wish I knew in the beginning, do all the challenges you possibly can. Also save all of your stuff in the warehouse and use them on event days for maximum rewards. Don't blow them like he does. It gets expensive because he ends up buying packs. Also save your medals. What he's talking about is the arena medals. And those come in handy because you get 15,000 arena medals, which can take, roughly a week, maybe 10 days. You can get a free piece of orange gear for your heroes, which helps out substantially. So I do recommend saving those medals. What he's referring to as well in the warehouse, let's take a look at the warehouse real quick. So I always use my diamonds, first of all, and any of those chests, they pop up in front of where you see the this teleport at. They'll be in front of that on the left. I always go ahead and open those, unlock those, because what they do is those chests actually put things like this in your resource box, in your equipment chest, in your hero portion, and your speed ups. So I open those right away, just to load these other tabs up with stuff that I can use for events. So he's right about that. These also come in handy like your resource stuff. If you click down on the bottom right for statistics, it'll add up kind of what you got in your box there. Same thing with the speed ups. And you can kind of see where you're at, which will help you gauge your bigger building upgrades. Like, I don't know. Let me get that damn light out of my face. Okay. Like HQ 23, for example, or Camp 23. It's a big deal to be able to speed that up pretty quickly, especially for the events. You don't want to have to sit there and wait, 7 days, 8 days when you have speed ups available. So that's a good tip. Let's see what that next one said. All right. Huge focus on research. So let's take a look at our research stuff. If you're going to be free to play, you're going to have one research center, one lab. If you spend any money at all, I'd totally recommend the $20 purchase USD for the secondary lab. It speeds everything up tremendously. Right now, I've got a few things baking. I've been kind of all over the board with this because mainly I go for stuff that's going to give me any sort of siege benefits or troop attack or defense, right? So those are the things that I like. You guys seen my previous videos. I can take a heavy hit on the city walls. So this is why you see so many random researches done in my trees here. It's because I'm picking and choosing what I want. Military strategies is a fantastic one. There's quite a bit in there. You've got defense for siege assault, which assault is when you're going to attack. The defense is when you're being attacked. So you want to get those things up as quickly as possible. If you're very new, this is pretty much the only research you're going to have. Go ahead and max it out. It's pretty quick. If you got the diamonds, just kind of plow through it and get it out of the way. It's going to try to recommend the Alliance recognition to you. There is something rather important about Alliance recognition that I didn't know of until probably 3 weeks in. It's this. That unlocks the premium rewards, and I'll show you this in just a second what I mean by that. And then this will get you to another tier as well, and that all kind of goes into play as you're going down. So it's gonna 7th through 9th chest is where I've got to get to, but I haven't really invested a whole lot of what do you call it, badges and time into that to get there, which at this stage in the game I need to, because for things like this, I'm on 7 through 9 and I can't get those rewards because I haven't unlocked them. And almost every versus so far, I've maxed out that part, and I haven't been able to get those rewards because I have not finished alliance recognition, or even got to that portion of alliance recognition. So it's something that I'll focus on. In the meantime, with versus popping up every week, I'll continue to invest more into troop attack and defense and siege. So that's my aim on that. So research is very, very important. If you take a look at your avatar, you can see where your tech power is, which that's good to be able to view it. But again, like if you go to look at somebody else's, and I don't know why I said again, but if you look at somebody else's stuff and they have a tech power that's similar to yours, well, you don't know if they just did structure building or what. You know, the tech power adds up. So it's a good indicator. It's not a foolproof, you know, system of measurement. I always like to go with between the tech power and the hero power. That's a good indicator of how strong that individual is going to be. So just a tip on that. Let's see what the next one had to say. All right. Don't use experience points for heroes randomly. It adds up very quick in fully prepared challenge. Dump all your EXP daily during that portion of fully prepared to place better. So what that is saying is when you go into your event calendar, you're going to have fully prepared. And this thing changes several times throughout the day. See, I'm already on the consume the EXP thing, so I haven't used any EXP today except for what it took to get this. I saved the EXP basically for, all right, let's say I upgrade to a new HQ and it unlocks another 5 levels per hero. I try to save the EXP for that. So like when I went from 22 to 23, I was able to 115 all of the heroes that are in my first formation pretty quickly. It didn't take long at all. So I had that stuff saved up and ready. EXP does not play a role in the versus event for heroes. And I'll touch on that in just a second and I'll go back. So when you look at this, you have the hero initiative. Nowhere in there is EXP mentioned for consumption or anything like that to give you points. So don't worry about that. Back into the daily thing. If you go to the calendar on this, it will show you. Well, there we go. I got stuff in the way. It'll show you when it's going to change. So army expansion is next at 1600 apocalypse time. That's just training some troops. I can't train any troops right now. I'm full. So I probably won't rank into that one. Mod vehicle boost, that's at 20. And I already did that because that's the versus event that we're in. I have nothing left to give for that. So I won't be able to get any points from that either today. Perhaps tomorrow, maybe run some boomers to grab some blueprints and off I go, but we'll see. Let's talk a little bit more about the hero thing. So you notice all of these have some sort of icon in the bottom right of them. And for that reason, there is things that I can upgrade in there. So for example, the equipment. This might be a bad example. Oh, enhance. It is a bad example. I don't have any other blue equipment or purple, but let's see if we can grab some real quick just for the sake of the video. This little chest that pops up in front of your HQ all the time, go ahead and get that. You see I have the gun and I have the vest. That's good. Now what you can do with that, and it doesn't affect any of your savings for the versus missions, is you can go in and upgrade with that. I think I need to be here. No, yes, that was a good spot. Need to get this one to 20 so when the hero initiative hits, I can upgrade it, or promote it rather. So you can just click on these guys and now you're upgrading and it's not taken away from any of your, hero or equipment resources for hero initiative and versus. I don't know if you knew that, but again, another helpful tip. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that. Let's see what our next thing has to say here. Make sure you develop your second and third lines as well, because if you send out your first line and that's the only line you're investing in, your city's screwed. So he's right about that. And you can see in your city, you can take a look at these formation walls here. This one being your first, this will be second, this is third, and this is fourth. I have not invested a lot. I would like to do more, but I try to keep my first march in that city at all times, especially if I know I'm going to teleport into somebody else's alliance during an event, like EB, for example. Yeah, don't be caught, with your first march out, because you do burn pretty quick. I prefer to invest mostly in the first march, and anything that's left over after upgrading that first march, I then dump it into the second formation. And right now, these buildings for second, third, and fourth aren't that good. I still need to do the formation 23 here for the first march, because whenever you do that, you get just a little bit more attack and defense when they're hitting your city. And it's like collecting pennies, guys. The 1% here, 1% there, it adds up. Eventually, if you get enough pennies, you got $1. So it's the same thing in this game. Just wherever you can get it, get it. Same thing with these weird little statues. These have a small percentage of attack. So that's good too. I mean, anything that you can get, it's worth it. Gives you a leg up on the opponent. So I highly recommend, wherever you can find it, go get it. Whether it's a building upgrade or a troop upgrade or a research, go grab that stuff. All right, this is one that I added in. So when you're early on in the game, join an active alliance as early as possible. It's going to show that auto join right when you get in there, and that's fine. Go ahead and do it. But the minute you kind of get a grasp of what's going on with the game, go into world chat, see who's recruiting, take a look at their stats, or even ask them in a private chat or in world chat, hey, how many boomers a day are y'all running? How many zombies a day are y'all killing? Is anybody purchasing packs? All of those things add into your alliance gifts that you get every day. And they help you grow tremendously and quickly as well. So you definitely want to be in an active alliance as soon as you possibly can. Now, you don't want to jump into an active alliance, like let's say top 3 alliance and you're like a level 12 and you're not that active. Don't do that. They're just going to kick you and probably burn you. So I know it sounds bad, but that's just the way the game works in some of these things, man. They might give you a warning and say, hey, go join somebody below the top 5 or the top 10. But if you're going to be active and you're liking the game, join an active alliance, because it's going to help you grow. It's easy speed ups. It's easy research, or resources. Building upgrades. This is a big thing, man. I see a lot of people going through and just upgrading the buildings to get their HQ up. Just because you have a big HQ doesn't make you strong. And in fact, it's hindering your performance, because you could have upgraded more research and other buildings that would have made you stronger at a level 22 than you are at a level 21 without that stuff. So for example, we'll go in and take a look at the HQ upgrade. So I'll be hitting level 24. Right now, I am slow baking the last predecessor building, which is the laboratory, to 23, and it'll finish right on time. I need it to finish during the structure stuff, or I'll speed it up if it doesn't. It could be holistic growth, or I think the second day is structure upgrades for versus. It won't finish by reset tonight, but it'll be fine. So after reset tonight, I'll go out and loot, and I will get enough resources to start level 24 and go with that. But before I got there, I already had a lab at 22. I already had formations at 22. I'm sorry, the training camps at 22. I already had the formation at 22. The wall was at 22. And this is a big one too. This is something I recently found out. Your rally square. The sooner you can get that to 20, the sooner you can get 8 team member cap for your rallies. So that helps you be stronger as well. You got more people in the rally, you're going to punch a little harder. Also, your alliance center. I had that at 22 before I went to 23. What that does is that it increases the amount of helps you can get from your alliance. And if you have an active alliance, you're going to get plenty of helps in a short amount of time. So like right now, I have 40 helps available to me. They're all full. I've got stuff baking. It's all, you know, just part of the bigger picture plan. So another thing too, when you're in alliances, make sure that you're donating to the alliance tech. That is something that helps you out. This actually gives buffs when you're on alliance territory. There's several different ones in here. So like combat, let's see, you get training speed out of it. There's a ton of things. So donating to that alliance tech not only helps the alliance upgrade the overall tech, but it also gives you these points in the top right corner, these coins that you can use to purchase stuff out of the alliance shop. I use it for typically just the advanced teleporter. Every now and then I'll buy an 8-hour shield out of there, because when things are rowdy, I need to sleep. So bubble up, Buttercup. Put your HQ condom on. Let's see, on the next one, make sure I didn't miss anything out of that. Lab research. Yep, got it. One thing I did miss into that. Let's go here. So when you're in your training camps, you can see that there's stuff locked. You're going to unlock the T7 at level 20, I think. Yeah, I think so. And then you'll get T8s at level 24 rider camp. Well, the only way you're going to get your rider camp to 24 is to have your HQ at 24. The downside to that is if you've been neglecting upgrading them along the way and you're just rushing your HQ, this is going to be super expensive. This isn't cheap to upgrade, like from like level 12 up to 24. It's just, you'll spend weeks trying to get it there. So just keep that in mind. You want to keep the rest of your buildings up to par with your HQ. I know we talked about that once already in this video, but it's paramount, it's important, and you'll do yourself a disservice if you don't do that. All right, hero's second skill. Okay, these are cool, man. There's a lot of perks that come with the second skill on a hero. So for example, I call this the second skill, by the way. It's the one right below the one in the top left. This one is idle EXP and exploration stages. That increases. If you go over to Olivera, increase Assaulter Camp's training speed. Hey, that's a good one to have too. And then she increases Shooter Camp's training speed. This increases free construction duration. Sophia is fantastic for doing that. That was one that I hit early on as I was upgrading the buildings, because it's going to save me speed ups. It's going to save me time overall. So that's a good one. There's other ones in here with that. Let's see. There are 3, I think. I want to say this was one. No. No, that's just this one. Probably still wrong. Yep, nope, unit training speed. That's a good one. This guy, I believe, has that too. Yeah, so pay attention to those second perks. Now, if you're trying to get out into the field and fight, those perks need to be secondary. I wouldn't focus on those right away. I would go with your first and third, because these are going to put basically buffs into your hero formation for field fighting or taking a rally or being swarmed. It's however you want to play the game. If it's super early for you, you've been in the game a week and you have some of those heroes unlocked already, go ahead and invest in that second skill, get those perks, and just start upgrading until your heart's content, or you run out of, resources or badges for research. The badges are a pain in the butt, guys. Those things are hard to come by and they're expensive to buy. So be mindful of the badges. And what I mean by the badges, I'll show you in the warehouse, are these. These are a pain. So, yeah, if you see an event or anything that has that as a reward in, I don't know, versus, just the calendar, anywhere that you can find something with a reward on badges, fight to finish that event or whatever that particular task is to get those badges. It's you're nothing without them. Now, the caveat to that is in the research tree is the shelter building. These don't take badges, none. So when you're in a bind, hit that up just so you can keep your research moving. As you see, I'm only at 66% on, or 67%. I don't care too much for that. I don't farm. Like, it doesn't really matter to me. So I just do that whenever I'm out of badges. Yeah, the click and drag. Okay. So I don't know if you knew this or not. There's two different ways to get your hero out of the city. One is you select a target and you say march, or you say attack, right? If you click on your hero's avatar on the right and just drag it out, click and drag, you can move your march out super easy. You can move them all out really quickly. So you're not clicking and drag, or you're not tapping 2-3 buttons and trying to aim on stuff. It doesn't work so well to send them back home, but you know, that's an easy fix. You click on their avatar, hit return, you know, send them back to the house. That's a nifty little trick that I learned a couple years back in another game. It's super helpful too, and it's just crazy, you know, with war in the field and there's just tanks everywhere. You can just click and drag onto that tank, just like that, and you'll see a little red X pop up on top of whatever it is you're trying to target. So easy peasy. Hopefully that one you guys knew. If not, you're gonna love that one. It's a lot less time consuming and less frustration as well. All right, orange inner city trade and bounty missions. You'll see this pop up in versus. You may already know this, but for those of you who don't have the dual, you know, versus thing in your state yet, it doesn't really say anywhere how to get that. So we'll show you real quick. I've already done all mine, so I'll try to find these things in the buildings here. All right, so this is the truck. This would be the inner city trades. So when you click on this, and I can't do it right now, but you will see a little, basically look like a dice, I think, up here in the top. That is going to use these guys. This is so you can upgrade that truck to an orange. When you upgrade it to an orange, you get hella points out of versus to send out an orange truck. So you want to make sure that you're doing that when that event hits, or it hits in that event. I don't remember which one it is. I have to read that thing every day. Damn ADD, man. Yeah, I'm not going to retain that information just by looking at it 17 times. Idiot, I guess. But the other one is going to be the bounty missions. That is a little reward thing you'll see on your bottom left of your screen after reset. And that uses these. This will allow you to change that bounty mission to a gold mission. When you see those missions pop up in that icon, they're going to have a color associated over to the left of that mission. And that color says blue, purple, green, or orange. This gives you the opportunity to refresh that tree and get the orange missions. Now, the caveat to that is you, as soon as you see one orange pop up in there, you have to send it. If not, it's going to refresh the whole tree and you might lose that orange. So just to kind of reiterate and recap on that, if you're using these reward dispatch orders to change to a gold, as soon as a gold pops up, send that mission. And then you can refresh again to basically change the rest of the missions that are left in the bounty. So that's a good tip. Just it gives you a bunch of points in versus. That's really all I've got, man. If you guys got anything that you want to see or you're curious about, I am going to be posting Canyon Clash again. We're going to be doing Capital soon. We'll be doing EB soon. So all of those videos are going to go up. If I can think of anything that's helpful to you guys in the meantime, I'll pop it in there. It doesn't take long. Like I said, I'm too damn lazy to edit videos, so this is coming straight off my phone onto YouTube. I do try to make a thumbnail because algorithm, you know, it's kind of picky about thumbnails. So, and I suck at that shit. So anyway, that concludes today. Y'all hit that like, hit that subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you got any questions or if you found this helpful. It also helps the algorithm. So appreciate it. See you guys out there.